I'm Caleb Brooks with the AHSAA Radio Network. I'm at Pleasant Grove High School, joined by the head football coach, Coach Darrell LeBeaux. And Coach, talking to you, you've been around some different programs here and really around the Birmingham areas where, your whole career has been. And started with Bessemer City, and, you ended up at Shades Valley. You helped coach Deron Payne there. You ended up at Mumford, and now right here at Pleasant Grove. And, you took an opportunity that came open. And the impressive thing, I think, with you is that you're taking advantage of this opportunity. You've had a really good football team here for the last 2 years. And started last year, you guys got knocked out in the second round. And a lot of people were surprised, I think, to see you guys get beat when you did get beat there in the second round. But what has it, how have you been able to come in here and really establish your program so early and have as much early success as you've had in your head coaching career?
When opportunity presented itself and having that opportunity of being a head coach, I was always taught and told to put yourself in a position to be prepared. Of course, being a coordinator, I had my ideas of what I wanted to do as a head coach and different things of that nature. But until you're presented with that task, you're never really fully prepared. But my thing was I wanted to come in here and I wanted to play a certain way. I wanted the atmosphere to be a certain way, and I wanted the kids to be a certain way. And with that, I had to go out and make sure I get the proper guys to put around these young men. My biggest thing is if I can put great men around these young men to prepare them for life, then everything else will work out itself. The X's and O's stuff is the easy stuff compared to the life stuff that these kids have to deal with. So my biggest thing is coming in, taking pride in what we do and what we have and the product that we put on the field and how we carry ourselves. And I preach to them all the time, you have to understand you represent not only that name on the front of your jersey, but on the back of your jersey also.
You mentioned how you're never really prepared to be a head coach until you actually do it. What are some of the things that, you weren't prepared for that you've kind of taken on that are even outside of football, administrative stuff and all that? What all has been kind of thrown at you that you didn't think, man, I didn't realize all these head coaches did all this type of stuff?
And I say that to say, man, my principal, Mr. Watkins, has been awesome to me and has helped me and put me in every position possible to be successful. But of course, the paperwork is mainly the stuff that's outside of football.
Yeah.
Football is what we love to do because this is our profession. But the stuff that's non-football related, I would say, it necessarily wasn't a shock. I used to hear my head coach talk about the different things, but you never know how much it is or how much you have to do until you're the guy that has to do it. So
you being a coordinator, you're obviously over one side of the ball before, but you've never been over a whole team before. And so what were the differences in taking over a team and being the head guy and realizing that you can't be a part of everything? You've got to trust your assistants and trust that they're going to do their job.
Right. And that's exactly what you said, bringing in guys you can trust to do their jobs and holding those coaches accountable to do those things that you may not be able to do all at once. So the biggest thing is making sure that the coaches are accountable, then their position is accountable, then coordinators making sure that their unit is being held accountable. I read something once and it said you're never fully prepared or you're not ready to be a head coach until you wash the clothes, till you fix the helmets, till you dealt with the parents, till you dealt with the recruiters and different things of that nature. And if you haven't done any of those things, then you're probably not prepared. Well, early in my career, even being at Bessemer City 3 years, I had to do some of those things early, and it prepared me to where it wasn't just a complete shock to be a head coach.
Yeah.
So I think I had some great times prior to that prepared me, but everything is different. Every situation is different.
When you took this job, did you, kind of just feel at the time, did you just say, I think I'm ready to be a head coach now? I think I've done enough to where I'm ready to take over a program?
I think my last year at Mumford, I appreciate Coach Smith, Bill Smith, which is the head coach at Fayette County now. He's one of the greatest men I know, especially in this profession. Done a lot for me. I just think it came to that point where I kind of knew I don't want to say I kind of had outgrown my position and what I was doing. I just kind of wanted my crack and my opportunity, just to see. And I tell folks all the time, I don't know if I was going to be good at it, if I was going to be bad at it. I mean, bad at it as far as being a head coach, but I knew I was going to work hard. I knew how I wanted to do things, and I just was going to let the cards fall as they may. But getting this opportunity, it's been more than a blessing, man. It's been awesome.
When you got the job, what was the first thing that ran through your mind on, okay, this is what I need to get done in order to start establishing my program?
Oh man, the first thing I want to do is to get coaches in. I'm an offensive guy, so I knew I got hired late, so I knew as far as getting a coordinator in, if I didn't get one in, it would be fine because I was a coordinator before. So one of the biggest things that I want to do, which I was taught to do, is if you're a coordinator, go get the coordinator on the opposite side of the ball and make sure you get you an O-line coach. Mm-hmm. That's just talking with some of older coaches that I know and have much respect for in this business. Those are some of the things that they told me that I need to do, and that's what I wanted to do, is to go get quality men and quality coaches to put around these young men.
You mentioned going and getting an O-line coach being one of the first things. I mean, isn't it crazy how we've changed football and how we do stuff? But one thing's never changed, and it's up front. You're going to win it if your D-line and your O-line is good enough. So.
Definitely. And run game and defense travel. When all else fails, if you want to win some ball games, you have to be able to run the football. You have to be able to stop some folks. So I don't think that aspect of the game is going to change. If you have a good offensive line coach, you can make some average guys become, pretty good. You can make some guys that's not that good become average. So, and getting the quality guys is always a plus.
Does that get kind of tough for you sometimes to run the football? Because you do have a really good quarterback that has been able to. I mean, he had a 26 for 31 game a couple weeks ago. And so, you have a guy that can get the ball around pretty good. So, is it hard to not fall in love with throwing the ball around and seeing what the offense looks like when that's happening? Man,
it's tough, and some of the coaches pick at me about it. But, the coaches that know me understand that we run to pass, So we want to be able to run the ball in order to open up the passing game and vice versa. We have a couple of guys that are pretty special football players over here on the offensive end that he can throw it to. So it just put us in a position to where we have to be able to run the ball a little bit too. So, folks won't just sit back there and try to put three guys over top and bracket coverage, certain guys. So you have to be able to run the football. And sometimes I'm a former quarterback receiver myself. So, putting it in the air, is always fun. And I used to get fussed at sometimes about not throwing it around too much, or not throwing it around enough, I should say. So it's kind of a fine line, I guess.
Yeah. You guys are coming off this week a loss to Ramsey, and Coach Nelson, great program over there, and he's a guy that's been there for a while. You're a guy that's just starting off, and can you kind of tell the difference in having him be across from you with as much experience as he has, and then you sitting on the other side and you're 16 games into your career?
Right. And I've been on Coach Nelson for a while. I've always respected what he's done and what he's done at Ramsey, not only there, even when he was at midfield prior to, and his staff and what they do over there as a staff. So, and his experience, I don't think it's much football that Coach Nelson hasn't seen or he's not prepared for. His staff does a great job and to get those guys prepared to play. My biggest thing, I was asked the question, is that what you want your program to look like, and no disrespect to, anyone, my thing is we're trying to create our own here.
Yeah.
And, and trying to build here. So, it's not year in and year out, do Pleasant Grove have a good football team? It's Pleasant Grove is going to have a good football team year in, year out. But, man, Coach Nelson does an awesome job, to get those guys going. I think folks forget 3 years ago he won the 6A state championship, and I don't think it's much drop off from that team to what they've been the past couple of years. So.
And not only him, but other coaches that you've gotten to coach against so far in your career. And then, obviously you've been around this area at different schools and coached under some other guys. I mean, how much has being under the guys that you've been under and then now coaching against some of the guys you're getting to coach against really helped you as a coach as well?
Man, listen, man, my dad played 14 years in the NFL, and one thing he taught me before he passed was, and when you get to the point in life where you can't learn anything else from someone else, then you might as well be dead. Man, I'm always willing to soak up knowledge. I'll call Coach Niblett over at Hoover if I got a question, and he always answers for me, or he can't talk with me at that moment, he'll always give me a call back. I still talk to my high school football coach. I still talk to Coach Elgin that was here prior to, which was my defensive coordinator in high school. I talked with Coach Luker yesterday, Keith Luker, which was my head football coach here. If I have a question, you know, I call. It's without a doubt I call. Rod Carson over at Carver Birmingham. He's a great coach, done some great things over there. I'll call Coach Carson. It's not a time on a Friday night that I'm not on the phone with him 1 o'clock in the morning talking about the last game and what we can do better and just trying to prepare myself. I just want to soak up as much knowledge as I can. You know, one of the greatest feelings last year, early in my career, when we played Briarwood and me and Coach Yancey got a chance to talk after the game and prior to the game, and he said, you know, Coach, you know, for these few weeks I've been watching what you've been doing, and I'm excited about what you're doing, and you're doing a great job. That means a lot, you know, coming from you know, a guy like that that's definitely probably going to be in the High School Athletic Association Hall of Fame here in a year or so, whenever he's ready, you know, type of deal. So, you know, just soaking up knowledge. You know, if you're that stubborn to where you can't learn from somebody else, then you're in the wrong business.
Yeah, and I mean, is that something that you also preach to your guys every day as well?
Definitely want them to understand that you got to continue on growing. You know, my biggest accomplishment wasn't Keith Mixon or being a part of a program that had Ryan Payne on the team, which those are great things. I had a kid, Javonte Rouse, number 8 tight end in the nation. The biggest accomplishment for me as a coach thus far is being asked to be in one of those kids' wedding. That's huge. That let me know that my impact as a coach is bigger than just football. So, you know, that's championships for me.
Yeah.
Of course I want to win one, but you know,
no doubt.
that's the relationship championship, I guess you can call it.
You know, when you have success like you've had early in your career, it's easy for a coach to get complacent just like it is for a kid to get complacent. So how do you not get complacent as a coach and keep wanting to learn? Because, it's, you know, when you have success like you have, you could sit back and go, I mean, there's some people that would just say, man, I've invented football now, you know, I can do this.
Man,
so, I mean, how do you stay motivated?
I have reality checks. Last week was one of them, but I've been a part of programs. You know, when I was at Bessemer City, 2-8, you know, 2-8. So I know how I feel to be down by 50 at halftime. You know, I know how I feel for, you know, coaches to still throw the ball on you in the fourth quarter and they're beating you by 40. I know that feeling. I didn't like that feeling.
Yeah.
So, you know, my thing is, I know I'm young. I've been down that road of that other end, and I know what I don't want to go back to. I have to work hard, you know, in order for me to continue on growing and as a coach, I have to work hard. I have to continue on pushing to get better. Game of football is the same, but it's evolving at the same time. So you have to be able to grow with the times of the game. And that's my motivation, is to continue on push to get better myself as a person, and better myself as a coach.
You know, one of the things pulling up was the school. It's beautiful. This building that we're in right here is really nice. The stadium out there, super nice stadium. And, you know, how much do these improvements to this place, how much does it really help this program as well?
It helps it a lot, and you have to remind the kids that everybody don't have it like this.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes they get comfortable, and you have to get on top of them and get them to understand you have to take care of your house. This is your house. Take care of your house. When I moved here from Louisiana, I graduated from Pleasant Grove. I can promise you our facilities didn't look like this. Our stadium didn't look like this. Now, we took care of what we had, but at the same time, you know, everybody don't have a practice field and a game field. And we're just blessed and in a position to where we have both of those things. And I think Jefferson County has done a great job facility-wise throughout the county. and investing into the programs, and we're appreciative of it. You know, until it's time to cut this grass.
Yeah, then you gotta get out there and actually get it doing
Right.
some work, and that'll make you thankful for everything though when you're out there doing stuff like that. That's for sure. Well, Coach,
man.
I appreciate you taking the time to sit down with me.
You.
You know, I'm excited about y'all's program, excited about what's going on here, and really looking forward to seeing how y'all continue to get better this year. And like I told them, hopefully we'll see y'all later on this year holding up a blue medal.
Listen, that'll be a blessing, man. You always welcome me at Pleasant Grove.
Appreciate it.
I appreciate you. Thank you.